Hey everyone, welcome to Kempner Canucks. My name is RevTrev, and I'm so glad that you're here because tonight we're going to be talking about the Canadiens and Canucks game. Now, when I was thinking about this game, I was very concerned, honestly, very concerned about this game. And honestly, at that stage where I didn't think we were going to live, I didn't think we were going to I didn't think that we were going to win this game. I did not think we were going to win this game. And so it is one of those weird things where they came out and they actually surprised me. They totally surprised me that they came out and fought so hard. And I actually am quite positive about this team. Like, it's been so doom and gloom with this roster, and that we only scored one goal each game for the last two games. We didn't look like we were in it. But tonight, it looked like we had a chance to win. In fact, I texted a couple people and I said, it's not like I didn't want to jinx it, but I felt like we're looking good and we got a chance to win this game. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting another 5-1 blowout. Montreal has been fantastic, everyone. And, I just kind of thinking, but then if you look at this game and you look at what happened, it was so much closer than I thought. And it crumbled at the end. And I understand there's Canuck fans that are very frustrated. And there's Canuck fans that are frustrated now because our Canucks lost tonight. And then the Blue Jays lost tonight. I mean, the good news is the BC Lions won today, but I don't know, were you really expecting that we were going to win that game? And I wasn't. So when we were winning it and it looked like we were going to win, I was like, hey, this is better than I was anticipating. But I want to know, the big question, and post it in the comments while they're watching it live in the live chat or later when you're watching this. How do you feel about the Canucks performance tonight against the Canadiens? Okay, post that in the comments. I want to know. Okay, that's the big question. And there was times where I'm like, we might tie this game up. We were up 2-0, and then we end up going down 4-2. And I mean, it sucks, right? 4 straight goals. That's terrible. But here we are, and it is what it is. So I don't really know what else to say about that. Is Canucks lose 4-3 to the I should put at home to the Montreal Canadiens. I mean, that's the news of the night. End of story. We lost in regulation. We lost 2 points. We didn't get any points. That's the final news, and that's why I believe fans are honestly upset about this. That's why they're upset. They're frustrated. They're ticked off because of it. Okay, but that's where it's like, well, that doesn't tell the whole story. We didn't get our butts kicked. We fought even until the end. We pulled our goalie. Garland got a nice tip in as well, and there's a lot to talk about. So we're gonna talk about Garland. I should do it this way. Who played on that line tonight? It was, why is my screen all blurry? There we go. So who was on that line tonight? Was it DeBrusk? I think it was DeBrusk. Yes, it was DeBrusk, EP40, right, and Garland, right. So this is actually a pretty. I felt like it's a pretty good line. DeBrusk had a good night, right. That's where we're at, and we've been facing some injuries, right, and here we are. We're sitting there and we're looking at this team, and I felt like there was a number of lines that looked solid. Garland just has that gear where it's like, it's go, right? It's go. And we're talking about this opportunity they have to prove everyone wrong, right? And didn't Pettersson end up getting? I think Pettersson ended up getting 3 points tonight, if my memory serves me correct. Let me just bring it up so we can talk about this game more properly. I want to make sure that I have the correct information for you. So Demidov has first 3-point game in NHL, which is great because I've got him in my hockey pool. Bad for Vancouver. But Pettersson gets the first goal, and we're going to talk about that one. And then he gets the assist on the DeBrusk goal. Yeah, he had a 3-point night, everyone. And we lose. And I think that's why fans are frustrated. But let's talk about these goals, right? So if you look at this Pettersson one, I loved it, and I made a little quick reel on it. But Garland to Pettersson. Pettersson comes down, passes to Hronek, and look at that pass. Like let's go back to that again. So Garland makes the effort to get here to Pettersson. He comes down the middle and does the drop pass to Hronek. What I love about Hronek is he drives to the outside and makes something happen. And look, this should not happen because now you have 53 and 93. So in between, and you make this pass through two of them, and it gets right to EP40. DeBrusk had a little bit of it was coming through the middle, so it caused a little bit of confusion. But that pass to that goal, I was super impressed. I was honestly super impressed with that goal. And I mean, when you look at it and you think, wow, like that was awesome. And Pettersson sniped it. I mean, he had to use his skill to get there as well, right? But then you look at the Jake DeBrusk goal on the power play. So EP40, by the way, I just want to pause it for a second. What is the deal with EP40 being at the top with Hughes? It's not like he does anything. He passes the puck. I mean, maybe that's why they don't put him on the corner there anymore by the safe face-off circle, because he doesn't shoot the puck hardly anymore. That's where we're at, right? So they're always at the top now. They're trying something new, which is fine. You see that DeBrusk is down low, Besser's in the middle, and Garland's there. This is what the power play one looks like. So EP40 to DeBrusk, back to EP40 to Hughes, and the shot goes, and Hughes deflects it off of DeBrusk, and he gets the goal. Now, it's a cheap goal by DeBrusk, but it counts, and it counts for him. And I mean, it's a power play goal, and everyone's been complaining about a power play, right? And then everything starts falling apart, right? You got the Suzuki goal, again on the power play, and just frustrating to watch. Scramble happens, Demidov over to Suzuki. It's in the net with all the confusion. By the way, I thought Lankinen played solid tonight too. Slavoski. This one was a frustrating goal. I get it. You know, he's there, brings it back down, and why didn't it show the goal? Did I miss it? I thought he shot it from the side. Okay. Does it just cut it off? Oh, yeah, it gets puck back, passes back up. Oh, and it counted? I don't know. Whatever that was. I have no idea. Okay, so this one, Matheson just rips it right here, opening lane. Oh, that was a nice shot. I mean, come on. At the end of the day, that's good. And then Demidov gets the game winner, and he's on the right-hand side there. So you have Matheson out there, Demidov here, one-timer, and it's in. So that's frustrating. But I like this goal by Garland a lot. We pulled our goalie, goes down to Pettersson, and this is that tip in. That was a beauty. We almost did it again with Besser in that same spot later on, but it didn't happen. So Yeah, it's pretty interesting if you ask me. Now, I wanted to get into a couple minutes of just a couple players. Obviously, probably EP40, one of his better games, if not the best game, best point production game. I'm happy with that. Really happy with that. Congrats, Pedersen. That's what we need out of you, is to not only play defense, but to produce points. But then in my last video or last post games, like, when are we going to make a trade? And then a trade happens, and I'm literally working out, and a trade happens, breaks, and I literally start filming and saying, stop my workout, film. Then I came home, I did a real short video, and I love everything about this Lucas Reichel trade. Okay, first of all, we didn't give anything up for him. 4th round pick, not this year, but next year. Awesome. Like, that is incredible. He's a 1st round, 17th overall guy who is still young, 23 years old, 2020 draft, everyone. So has potential. Why did the Chicago Blackhawks give up on Reichel? Like, obviously they think he's a bust. Like, how could you not get more from a team for your 1st round, 17th overall pick a few years later? Like, this is bad. Montreal Canadiens, Chicago Blackhawks fans are really upset. If you look in the comments of when Chicago announces on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram, wherever, just go through the comments of what Montreal Canadiens fans say. They're like, what? We gave up Reichel for a 4th round pick? Like, this is a young guy that we're trying to build around him and Bedard and different guys that we were trying to develop, and you're giving up. Now, apparently, Lucas Reichel is good offensively, but he's terrible defensively. And you've got people out there who say, just like Kuzmenko was like that. And there's another Canuck guy that was it Podkolzin or whatever? I don't know. It wasn't Podkolzin. It was someone else it was Sprong. Good offensively, terrible on defense. They're out of here. And so now we're going to try our 3rd guy like this. But when I watched Reichel tonight, and by the way, this is the other thing about Reichel that nobody seems to talk about. He didn't look lost out there. He had 2 days to get to Vancouver, pack whatever stuff, get on a plane, get to Vancouver. He's been traded. He's moving to a new city, doesn't get an opportunity to practice with the team, gets thrown into the lineup, which is fine by me. And then he goes in, and he's the 2nd line center beside Kane and Besser. And it's like, he doesn't know our structure. He doesn't know anything. And you just throw him in there. And part of it's awesome because it's like, dude, you've played hockey your whole life. Just go out there. He says, oh yeah, we watched a couple videos on this, a couple video clips. And they said, this is kind of what we're wanting you to do. This is your strengths. We want you to walk in your strengths. And it's like, and so I'm just out here and I'm excited to be here. And he's like, I love the black skate jersey. And, and it's like, just go play. And you could see his speed. You could see his hockey knowledge. You could see that, he looked like he was trying to get shots on net. And like, I don't know what was the final score there. Not final score, his stats line. Let's just go to the stats line. Okay, so if we go to the Canucks and we just go to Reichel, okay, he played almost 16 minutes. He played 20 shifts tonight, everyone. That's insane. And he had 1 shot on goal, and that's it. He was -2. And that kind of goes par for the course. So this is the thing. Like, I'm trying not to get too excited about this player because for him to actually make it and produce, it's a long shot for sure. But I'm pretty pumped about this guy. Like, basically got him for free. And there's a lot of aspects to his game that I do want to talk about because he's going to be that guy that at that age, right? You can grow with this guy if you can see some production. If you look at his numbers, like look at the years that he gets 65, 70 games in, minus 29 on a terrible Blackhawks team, right? 16 points, 22 points. I mean, obviously the points haven't been there except for this year. He's got 4 points, 2 goals, 2 assists in 5 games against Chicago. I think there was one game he had 2 goals and assists. So basically hasn't done anything after that. Canucks get him. And it's like, well, maybe he just needs a new change of scenery. Maybe that's what it is. Right? Like, who knows? I like this. It's a low risk move. And I love that they put him. Now they moved him to like the third, fourth line once the game started kind of rolling. They needed a goal, but put him out there. This is a guy like let's say worst case scenario. Okay, worst case scenario, you have Hughes leaves next year or doesn't re-sign, and we lose him, or we trade him. You'll want young pieces to be building upon. So you've got the Mancini's, the Leckermackis, the DPDs that you haven't traded away yet. And why do I always miss? Oh, Verlander, right? Now you've added Reichel. You've got Baines, Sasson, Carlson to work with. And I think that's what the future needs to look bright with these guys. And so he fits that mold, and I'm okay with that. So I'm really optimistic about Reichel because it's a low risk move. If it doesn't pan out, it's like, okay, we just don't sign him back. And that's why I was saying, like, why did Chicago get rid of him for so cheap? It's like, well, they didn't want to pay him. Well, what were you going to pay him? Like, honestly, what were you going to pay him coming up? Because if you look at his stats, right? If you look at his stats, and what are you going to pay a guy who scored 22 points in his best season, and he's, averages 15 to 22 points in a season? Like, what are you going to pay him? Is he going to ask for $4.5 million a year? I highly doubt it. Like, are we talking about a $2 million guy? He's a $1 million guy now. A $2.5 million guy. I don't know. What's he want? Maybe that's why they were sitting there and they're like, we don't want him. We don't want to pay whatever he wants. It's like, okay. I think it's just awesome that we went and got him and just see what he does. Go for it. Yeah, so it was an interesting night. Let's just put it that way. I've gone 19 minutes on post game. Actually, let's just bring that up as well. We didn't talk enough about that. Let's quit. I want to get into your comments, everyone. I'm really excited to connect with you. Thank you so much for being here, by the way. Yeah, I don't feel doom and gloom tonight. I felt like it was better. We had 31 shots on goal, right? They only had 24. They had way better. We keep getting owned in the face-off circle. Okay. They had 2 out of 3 power plays against us. I mean, the Canadiens are a solid team this year, right? We scored on the power play. That's good news. Both had 6 penalty minutes. The hits were similar. The block shots were similar. The giveaways were identical. The takeaways are similar. And I'm okay with that. This to me is a very positive game. And I know people are like, there's no points for moral. There's no moral victories. Okay. It's all about points. And I get it. I understand that people are mad because we lost. I wanted to win too, but at least we didn't get pummeled. And it gives me a little. And tomorrow, everyone, the Vancouver Canucks play a back-to-back against the old Edmonton Oilers. So Demko will be in net, and we're going to fly. We're going to fly, everyone. We're going to see. And Skinner's having a better game now. a better season. He's kind of turned it around a little bit, but we'll see. We'll see. Lankinen is 1-3, though. That's concerning. The Oilers are 7th in the power play, 20 or 25th. They're 13th on the penalty kill. We're 22nd. I mean, those numbers are awful for us. Face-offs, we're 31st, everyone. That's a huge problem. And then you look at goals for we're 26th. Goals against, we're only 17th. And that's where it's different. So we'll see. We'll see. And then the last number of games, Edmonton's only 4-3-1, and we're 4-5. So interesting, hey? Interesting. They're on a 2-game winning streak, though, everyone, against Montreal and against Ottawa. So they're starting to hit their stride. And good on them. But we'll see tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, the game's going to happen. And we'll see. Oh, what I have, Lucas Reichel still there. Okay, I'm going to get into your comments, everyone. Looking forward to chatting with you about this game. But I feel like there's a lot of positives. Let's dive into this and get into your comments. All right, we're going to dive into your comments, and just a reminder, if you forgot or you missed it, I did a video on the Calgary Flames, and the Calgary Flames are crap. You know that I'm a number one Flames hater, do not like the team, made this video. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. It's turned out to be quite a good one. I've been making so much content, it's been crazy. So, by the way, I was supposed to stream before, but just some different things came up, and I decided to stream after the Blue Jays game. And the Blue Jays are not on tonight, and they lost. So Bing Tang Warrior is in the building. Let's go, PD. Let's go. He had a good game. 3 points for EP40 with the Canucks, now behind 4-3 to the Habs. This is while the game was going on. David W. saying that. And Big Tang Warriors mad because we lost, and I understand why. But yeah, we talked about this tonight. We outshot them 31-24, but lost the face-off battle massively. PK was a disaster. On face-offs, Besser, Sasson? Yeah. Kane over. I mean, Kane's not a centerman. That means they got kicked out of it, right? So your centermen are Sasson, EP40, and Reichel, and Ratu. Those are the guys that would be. So Adam, good to see you. Well, that useless goalie gave points away again. Thanks a lot, Adam Foote. We might as well fold this team and put the Canucks foot in grave one. Oh my goodness. Really? I guess so. I don't know. I was pretty positive about this game. I know people are upset. Lankinen sucks. Okay. I mean, you're entitled to your opinion. Yeah, Ratu was 11 for 18, was excellent. And the only Canuck to have won at least half of our faceoffs. Yeah, our faceoffs were awful. Navorius, I'm sick of blown leads, man. Listen, we're usually down. We're usually losing 2-0. 2-goal lead in the second period. Yeah, I mean, you got to play more minutes, right? But they were very scrappy for the most part, for sure. It was a close one. Mike said at least PD is back. We really need Bluger and Forbert back. Imagine saying that. You're not wrong, Mike, but like Bluger, I love Bluger. I don't know if Forbert is. I guess it's the penalty kill because the penalty kill is brutal without them. So those two guys are fantastic on penalty kill. Lankinen wasn't good. And Kane, don't get me started. I know people, I think people are just going to hate on Kane for a while. Yeah, first time in a long time, Petey was actually good. I agree. I like seeing Petey shoot the puck at teammate sticks for shots because he knows they will miss if he just passes them the puck. Ooh, that's nasty. David W says, I count at least one ugly goal Lankinen allowed versus the Habs. If that's just it, one, maybe after viewing Sportsnet footage of the other Habs goals, I might find more. Sportsnet should post on its YouTube channel at some point. Yeah, with a couple hours. Yeah, absolutely. Mike said he thought two of them were soft that went in. Royal says, in my opinion, this game was a strong effort by the Canucks. Do they have issues to work out? They do have issues to work out, but it seems like there is something there even post-Hedl. I like that, Roy. I think you're right. I wish we could move Kane and Drew O'Connor for another center, even if it's just another fringe second-line center. Keep hearing from Rick Dollywall that the Canucks have been in conversations all summer for Pavel Zacha from Boston. I just don't think he's going to be cheap. And I think if we make that trade, you guys are going to be upset. What you see, I think you're going to be upset with what that trade's going to look like. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be one of our young guys going to go. But I'm not a huge Zacha. I don't think Zacha's the guy. But, I mean, he's a second-line center, so that's what we need. And I guess we don't have any other options. So, Zacha would be nice. I really want Ryan O'Reilly from Nashville. If we can't get Zacha, that would be great. But he's old. Like, he's old as dirt, man. Zacha would fit the thing better. Actually really like this Reichel kid. He's like greased lightning fast. Hope the coaches can distill and direct his obvious talents into a regular NHL player. I agree, Callum. That's the goal for sure. Ryan O'Reilly would buy us 2 years and allow Ratu, Coots, and Reichel to continue to grow. That's a good point. He only makes $4.5 million for the next 2 seasons. That's fair. It's fair. Ryan says that the season is over. I don't think I'm with Mike. 4-5 record doesn't mean it's going to be over. I did put that I was going to go live after the Blue Jays game. Callum says, interesting, Mike, but everyone in the league knows how desperate the Canucks are. That's true. Japan 4 is in the building and saying, let's go Dodgers. Oh, didn't know you were a Dodgers fan. I mean, you're welcome to be that. I'm cheering for the Blue Jays. Okay, you're going back to Nothing Imperfect. I mean, Nothing Imperfect has an awesome stream to do that. I guess you did. So we got no forward core. It's hanging on a thread. It depends on EP40. Quinn Hughes is clearly not happy. We aren't keeping him. Obviously, it's over. Wow. Doom and gloom Ryan tonight. Okay. Okay, first of all, I don't think Hughes is leaving. Like, you can't say that from here. Like, you think it is. Like, man, I didn't think. Yeah, anyways, we're going to talk about that later. We'll take it on another video. Mike, they do for sure, but if we can get Reichel for a fourth, I'm sure Ryan O'Reilly could be acquired for this year's first, protected first, okay, and Verlander. I wouldn't trade Ryan O'Reilly and Verlander and a first to get. That's way too much, man. Verlander is long ways away from NHL duty. I think he's 1 year away from NHL duty. I think next year he's going to be playing in the NHL. That's what I think. Yeah, he's got to produce in Abbotsford, and I think he'll do that this year. You're switching to becoming a Stars fan? Okay. There's fandom right there. Let's jump ship. 10 games in. Not even. 9 games in. Benjamin. Lankin has been letting in some weak ones in lately. It's fair. Canucks got rocked Blue Jays getting rocked. What a horrible night. Roy, if this game is the one where EP40 rediscovers his mojo, that would be a win for the country. That's a great comment right there. Okay, so David W. says, I count the first, second, and fourth Hab goals as ugly ones Lankinen allowed. Wow, you went from 1 to 3. Huh, interesting. Coach Rob's in the building. Shannon's in the building. Good to see you. Lanky, no good this season so far. Yeah, he struggled. Cal, nothing is perfect's in the building. Callum, you think I'm funny? You are, Russell. Evander Kane is a problem. Oh, Russell, by the way, I forgot to get back to you. I think the answer is yes. Let me relook at my calendar. So I'll get back to you. My apologies. I totally forgot. It's been super busy here. So Canucks game vlogger. Hello. Good to see you. I'm glad you're here. Marcus, not good. We blew a 2-0 lead. I agree. You know what, Shannon? You're right. People are saying the Canucks need to rebuild. They've been saying that for forever. I'll tell you right now, this is my personal opinion on it. I don't think the Canucks are going to rebuild. They're not going to rebuild. They're going to keep trying to make this team into something. And I just think I'm going to make a video about the whole term rebuild. It's like that's all people say in every fan base, and not everyone can rebuild. You got to put fans in the seats. You got to have some excitement. You got to have things to talk about. You don't want to lose for 8 years, you know? So Carlos, Fan Grinder, how are you? Petey was amazing, and kudos to him. I thought it was a really good game. And only the fact that they didn't have their second or third centers are keeping them from winning. It's true. That's a valid point. Yeah, and Shannon, you know, we're walking through injuries too. I know every team does, but 122 people in here, everyone. Mark is here. The Evander Kane penalty in the second was soft. Yeah, I thought so too. Novorius says Petey was incredible. He had 3.9, so I'll give him credit for that. Other than that, blowing a 2-goal lead in the second period is unacceptable. I mean, 2-goal lead is not. It's not a done deal. Even a 3-goal lead, teams can come back from. So, got to play more minutes. So, I don't know if I'd say it's unacceptable, but yeah, I thought Garland was good tonight, Shannon. I agree with you. They could have skated a bit faster, passed a bit better. Pretty good game though. Ruben, that's hilarious, man. Yeah, you're right. They probably could have. Maybe they were trying to. Maybe they were trying to skate as fast as they could. So, yeah. Petey is starting to pick up points. That's a positive thing about tonight. Petey proved them wrong, right, Russ? Mark says it seems like they got that 2-0 lead and then backed off. They made it so hard on themselves. Got to keep the gas on the pedal. That's a great point. Jason is here. It says EP40 had a nice night. 1 goal, 2 assists. Hughes had 2 assists. Jimmy is in the building. I think we might have a shot at the first row pick in the draft, and I'm okay with that. I don't think we have a shot. I think we're going to make the playoffs. Still do. I mean, a lot of things got to go better, but I'm not changing my prediction at this stage. And so you think we're going to miss the playoffs. Okay. Jason says EP40 Garland line is pretty goof, and people need to stop flaming Petey. Well, he's been terrible for a year and a half. We need him to be better. It's like, and people are like, "Oh, Petey was good tonight." It's like tonight it should be good every night. He should be good. He should be good 75%. Like he should look dangerous 75% of the nights, right? Of the games. That's what I'm saying. It's like he should be. Like, this shouldn't be like, oh, look, he finally had a good game. So, yeah, so I get that, maybe you don't like that people are criticizing Pettersson, but professional hockey player makes 11.6 million. I mean, you'd think we'd want some kind of return. This should be normal. Got serenaded out of our building. Oh, I know. Just incredible. Is it crazy? Kempner, your thoughts on Kane? Because I heard he's been off his game lately. I don't think Kane's been great, but I don't think he's been as bad as everyone says. What we knew about Kane is he scores. He doesn't score a ton of points, but he's consistent, like Jake DeBrusk kind of points per year kind of guy. Okay. He can play physical hockey. He also can take bad penalties. And sometimes he does some stupid stuff. We know that about him. Like, that's kind of what he's doing. It's who he is. And the people who loved him, that we got him, mad now that we got him. A lot of people are mad when we got him at the beginning because they didn't like the person he was. And I always think, like, people can change. People can mature and learn from their mistakes. And so maybe that's what's going to happen there. Rick says, I say EP40 has a lot left to prove. I agree. Still a lot of improvement needed to be earning his money back. Russ says, Evander Kane once again takes a bad penalty in the offensive zone. This is normal, everyone, which the Canadiens score on. He is a big problem. Why doesn't he get benched? Because that's a good question. So why don't we bench Evander Kane? Guys, I just think this is what he is. I think he does this every once in a while. He did it against us in the playoffs. When he played for Edmonton, he's played like this his whole career. Like, you're asking him to be better, and that's okay. It's okay because he's making $5 million, okay? But in all honesty, we're talking about changing the way he plays to such, like, he's played this his whole. We knew that's what he was like. So, I think they knew what they were getting when they brought him in. I don't know. There's nothing about his game where I'm sitting there going, can't believe he's doing that. That's just what he does. Now, we need him to play better. We need him to be smarter. Like, come on, we need him to be smarter. Yeah, there's been a lot of rumors, Jason, about Pavel Zacha. I'm okay with it depending on what the cost is. If the cost sucks, I don't want him. Justin says, tonight's game shows that even if EP40 is back to EP40 and Hughes returns to being Hughes, this team is far from being a high-level contender. I agree. In fact, I never said that I believe this team is a contender this season. I said that we can make the playoffs this season and see what happens in the playoffs, but I think this is a playoff bubble team. They'll find a way to make the playoffs, and then if things go right in the offseason or we make a certain couple trades that are good, that next year we can start talking about, is this team going to be a contender or a pretender? So they're hitting at my expectations. I don't really know if people are thinking that this team's going to be a Stanley Cup contender. I think they're kind of out to lunch. But I want the Canucks to prove me wrong. Okay. So Brock Besser wasn't on a productive line. He was underutilized. DeBrusk maybe on a streak. Yeah, it's fair. I mean, you've got Besser now getting his centerman now has changed again, and it's Reichel. So he almost scored and tied it up last game. That one. I think that's one. Acklini wants playoff revenue now, so he will sell futures for that. I don't know. I think they're going to keep because you know what? Just like Justin says, the Habs are so young and so exciting. I think that's what we're trying to do. Shannon, you got taken to the hospital this morning by ambulance? Really dizzy and my whole body's hurting. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I'll message you later to see how you're doing. Brian, almost think the Canucks should have kept Shelov's hindsight 2020 a lot less cap and whatnot. Seems like Canucks have bad luck with players after contract year, and next year will be $13 million against the cap. Yeah, solid take. I mean, we can always trade Lankinen too, but if he doesn't produce, but I'm hoping he'll produce. Kelly, good to see you. Hopefully EP40 keeps it going next game. I agree. Yeah, man, it was I wasn't surprised that PD played well. I was pleasantly surprised. How's that? I don't know if that's the farthest I go. I mean, this is what I would expect, so I'm thankful that he did. Roberto, good to see you, man. I saw you in the Rinkside post-game show. Says Canucks' problem was when we traded Horvat, we should have traded Miller. If they knew PD and him were a problem, just imagine Horvat, PD, Lindholm, Ratu up the middle would not have an issue. Okay, so Roberto, this is like massive hindsight 2020. Nobody saw the rift coming that way. I still like that we traded Horvat and got something because we ended up getting Hronek out of that deal. I like Miller. I like how he plays. I think he's a fantastic player. Plays playoff hockey in the preseason, regular season, postseason. Lindholm, they offered him a deal. He signed in Boston for more. They offered him $7 million to play and took $7.75 million in Boston. I don't think he was staying with Vancouver anyways. So Horvat, PD, Lindholm, Ratu out the middle, that would be solid. Yep, you're right. But hindsight 2020. I guess you could be right on that one for sure. Oh, you're at home now? Okay, great. I'm glad to hear it. Hope you're feeling better. Now we're looking. I know. It's been unfortunate. We had 3 top centers of Miller, Horvat, and Lindholm. Actually, we had Miller, Horvat, and Pettersson. We never had Lindholm there until the trade happened. And the reason why we traded for Lindholm was because we traded Horvat. So you never would have had those 3 guys there together, just the way the timing went. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. Govin, good to see you. EP40 played good this game. Hopefully he keeps it up. I agree. Yeah, we're looking for a second line center. Green, I think PD deserves a raise. That's awesome, man. Michael, let's go. What a win. Habs are the comeback kids. I haven't watched a lot of their games, but someone I know pretty excited about the start of their season for sure. Yeah, I'm glad to see you're doing better. Glad to see you're doing better, Shannon. Some fans out there said that Reichel wanted out. Don't know if that was just a shot in the dark or an actual thing. I did hear a couple Blackhawks fans saying that. Kelly says that 4th round pick was originally Chicago that Nucks got for Mikheyev. I think I butchered. Yeah, Mikheyev. Yeah, in 2020. Okay, so we just gave them back their old pick. How come I haven't heard that till now? That's interesting. Rick, another dud for free. Time will tell if Alvin made another bad deal for another bad European player. Yeah, maybe. Or maybe we hit the jackpot with this kid. I don't know. No, Vent? So Rant? Nobody be judged by their numbers in Chicago. That franchise being a mess a few years. Even Bedard can't succeed there, right? Yeah. Can't nobody get trudged. I agree. Let's see what he does in Vancouver, everyone. I'm looking forward to Lucas Reichel and what he's going to do. Alvin tends to go with value contracts with upside, and that's a bit of a gamble. I mean, and sometimes when you have the cap the way it is, and when you pay a Pettersson that much money. You got to be. A lot of teams got to be creative, right? Yeah, and Brian, you're right. Coots is on his way too. There, it's not. That's right. You've got Verlander, Mancini, DPD. That's the defensive core. Lecker, Mackey, Coots, and now you've got Reichel, Baines, Sasson, Carlson. This is the guys that they want to win with and develop with to win, to be winners, and maybe that'll be good. Then you have the Pedersons and the DeBrusks and the Brock Bessers and the Garlands that are signed to good sized contracts and lengthy contracts, and the Horonics and the Hughes and those guys, and that's how we do it. Everyone, that's the plan, and keep Demko and Lankinen and see what they can do. I don't know. Green says rumored Reichel wanted out, wasn't going to resign there, and I don't blame him. I don't blame him either. Good job. So is Alvin going to start looking for? He's been looking for a second line center for sure. Just hasn't found one. All the players will want more with the new cap increase. Yep, they will. Dolly Wilson, we've been pushing hard for Zaka, have been this summer. Yep. The San Jose Sharks. The San Jose Sharks are struggling, but some believe they won't trade any young talent. Yeah, why would they? Why should they? Keep them. Line change. Good to see you, man. This is hopefully a turning point for EP40 and to a lesser extent for Hughes. Looks like PD had a good game despite him being a Dodgers fan. I didn't know he was a Dodgers fan. Interesting. I mean, Ohtani's hard not to cheer for, but I'm cheering for the Blue Jays. There's no moments at all that I'm cheering for Ohtani and the Dodgers. I want them to win. Abbey Canucks at 3 p.m. Vancouver Canucks at 7 tomorrow night. Interesting. And the Canucks don't need to go anywhere for their upcoming game for the Oilers. That's so nice. Yeah, complain at Rogers Arena, sleep in their own beds. PD played like an $11.7 million player tonight. Tank for McKenna. No, Calgary's doing that. Calgary's doing that, man. That's what they're doing, man. Like this is what I've been seeing all over the place. So that's what they're hoping for, but I don't think we're going to do that. Lankinen's 1-3 isn't as concerning as his save percentage. Yeah, that's fair, Troy. Good to have you here, Tyler. Yeah, it's in Vancouver tomorrow. Seattle's up 2-0 over Edmonton at the moment. Hopefully they can hold on. Okay. Line change. Do you have a Jays podcast as well? Whew. You're the man. I've got a football one. I do my Packers content, so nothing wrong with that. David W says the Canucks going into the games of Saturday had the sixth worst power play percentage in the NHL with among Canadian teams. Only the Flames had a worse percentage, and the PK was tied for 15th. That's just over 77%. Rick says we're a .444 team at 9 games into the season, which does not bode well. I know everyone will say it's early to judge. Just get a bad feeling from watching this team play so far. How do we improve? I think it's a long season. I think it's a long season. There's going to be teams that are going to rise and teams that are going to fall. So, think about it. We're talking 9 games in, and we've concluded that this team is going to be like this the whole way through. I thought they were going to get smoked tonight, everyone. It was a close game. We made it close. We almost tied it up. 148 people in here. This is awesome. Mancini comes home to the big club tomorrow night. It's awesome. Green, Florida started 4-5 also. Are they in trouble too? Great point. Yeah, it's awesome you do a Blue Jays channel. It's awesome. You're talking apples and oranges, Green. No comparison. Yeah, right. Bro, both fruits can be compared. Kelly, with this decor, who's out to make way for Verlander, Mancini, and EP25? Okay, so if you're talking this year, then Verlander's not coming this year, right? He'll play a couple games. That's it. But with Forbert out, Mancini and EP25 can play. The problem is they're not wanting to play Mancini because once he gets to, was it 9 games this season, they got to pay him a different salary. So there's something going on with that. That's why Joseph is playing. I'm not a big fan of Joseph. I think he's fine. I don't think he's great. But yeah, interesting. By no means am I comparing us to Florida. It's just early. All good. Okay, I'll stay in contact with you. I don't think that we don't need to rebuild. I mean, you can have the opinion of rebuilding. I'm not interested in a rebuild, but some of you might be, and that's fine. What was the difference between Kane's hit and Ronald's hit on EP40? I don't know. That's a good question. Yeah, I feel like I can't answer that question well. So I'll let you answer that one. Rebuild sets us back, so I'm not up for a rebuild. I'm with you. Forget about rebuild, just build a practice facility. I agree, Green. They have retooled for years, continue to miss the playoffs, then sell off the team. They need another team in Florida. Yeah, I'm with you, David W. Rebuilding is an absolute last resort, but dropping to 10 or more standing points. Yeah, I mean, you don't think that they have. Yeah, I don't think they're out of it at this stage, everyone. Surrey, BC is going to build a sports place, as I heard it on the news. They said that maybe the Canucks can practice at the new sports place. Yeah, that'd be great. They need to get something. The Canucks need grit. Evander provides some grit. I agree. Kane brings you grit and bad penalties. It's true. The team every fan wants was the 23-24 team, but this is not this team. We have given away a lot of that talent. Poor choices, in my opinion. Drilling holes in the boat as you're bailing water. Yeah, but some of them is okay. So we lost Zadorov and Lindholm to free agency. We lost P.S. Suter to free agency. We traded JT Miller away. So those are huge, huge things, right? Susie's gone, which is not massive. We also traded away Mikheyev, Beauvillier, Heinen, Desharnais. There's a lot of movement. There's been a lot of movement in Canuck land. So yeah. Hey, everyone. Thanks so much, Shannon. Smash the like button. It's free to do, and subscribe too. That would be awesome. So do you want to see the Abby line get more minutes? Maybe on the PK? I love that Calder Cup line. I think you should keep them together and run them all year. Just let them go. They have the chemistry. Make them our third line. But yeah, I don't know. I'm a fan of that line a lot. This Justin Sports team is very injured. Good game overall, but PK with Bluger and Forbert out is weaker. Lanks has to be better, though. That's a good comment right there. Jack says, I don't want Zaka because we pay too much for him. I agree, and shouldn't re-sign him because Coots will be ready by then. It'll basically be a waste of whatever asset we trade. The only thing about this comment is that the Coots one, it's not like he's going to be like magically amazing. It's going to take him years to develop still too, right? So Zach has 2 years on his contract. That's enough for me. So I thought Canucks would make Western Finals. Then again, I thought the LA Kings would play against Florida for the Cup and lose to the Panthers to make Corey Perry 0-6. It still could happen. Still early. Rebuild, Jack says, would put us closer to the Cup than spinning in circles. Maybe. You don't know that. It depends on who you draft. Depends who you add. Depends who you lose. Yeah, I'm not there yet, but okay, I will. I'll message you. Brian, do you want Calgary to lose and finish last or win enough to finish ninth in the West? I know what you're asking me. I want them to lose and finish dead last, and I want them not to win the draft lottery. That would be my perfect storm. Not perfect storm, perfect scenario. Yeah, I'm with you, Russ. I really liked a lot of what I saw tonight. I hope Mancini gets back in the lineup tomorrow night. I really do. And David W., I'm with you. There's no guarantee. But if it's done right, a rebuild can ultimately put an NHL team on the road to playoff success and winning the Cup, really. But it takes a long time. Sensei Dean, would Kane get his nose out of joint if he's sit out? I don't know. Probably, I would. $5 million player. I mean, he's got to play better, everyone, because he's looking for a contract next season. Green, we already have so many forwards injured. We need Kane to play. We don't have the depth. The forward is our biggest weakness. I agree. Rick says, rebuild or sell. When will Hoglander come back? It sounds like he's pretty injured, so I think it's a while. So the rebuild would set this team back, but it depends on how they build it. But I think it'd just take too long. So I think they could do it. I think they can do it now with something. There's lots of pieces that are still real positive, guys. Hard to be a fan when it continues to be mid-team and ticket prices keep going up. Well, ticket prices went up because got new seats. Kevin says, Pettersson with 3-point night. This should be nothing but a celebration. Jaden is here. Pathetic performance by the Canucks tonight. Habs absolutely deserve the win. Perspective, having lived in Montreal and being a part of a Habs fan for second favorite team. Yeah, the Habs deserve to win it, and they did it. Yeah, guys, definitely. Line changes here. Nothing is perfect here. Give them a follow, guys. Love their content. Kevin K. I like the Kane. The new guy, Besser line. The kid has, Reichel? Yeah. Kid has potential more than Hedl. We'll see. I wouldn't say that after first game, but he should. He's a first-round pick. He should. Our defense sucks. Marcus Pettersson, another pylon in the making. White Owl, I've been one of the guys that hasn't been overly thrilled about Marcus Pettersson, but people keep telling me, according to the analytics, he's better than you think. The eye test is like he's okay. I don't think he's great, but okay, I didn't mean pathetic. I was just upset. I get it. I get it. Reichel reminds me of getting JT Miller and having no expectations. He also played wing for the Rangers. Guess what, by the way, Kevin? JT Miller was a third-line center when we got him. Tampa was stacked down the middle. Gave up a first-round pick for him, and he became something incredible. There were some expectations, not a lot. You're right. Reichel could be that. You meant to say no to the rebuild. Okay, it's good. I want Rempe too, man. I like him. I like him a lot. The difference between Kane and Lando's hit is reputation. Not fair, but that's how it goes. Rick can't pay the players that we need because Princess Petey got the big money bag for nothing. It's fair. I'm going to scroll down a little bit here. Oh, we're at an hour and 1 minute. So we're gonna call it quits soon here. We're almost at the end. White Owl says our forward is fine, but our defense is a little slow and clueless. Okay. Curious where the Flames hate comes from. I hate the Oilers way more, but that's maybe recency bias. Flames have never even had a first pick. Oilers had 4 and 6 years, way more hateable. And that's a fair take, Jax. But I may be older than you and remember the amount of times the Flames have beaten down our Canucks. It just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. They were a very good team for a very long time. Not talking about the Mike Vernon and Joe Nieuwendyk days and all the Al McInnes and all those great players, Thurin Fleury, and then they moved into the Iginla, Kiprasov years, and oh my gosh. And so, yeah, I'm just not a fan, and I respect Iginla, and I think Kiprasov was a great player, and I loved watching Al McInnes, but I hated losing. So that's part of it. And then when Bure scored that Game 7 goal, it was gorgeous. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. It's fantastic. And overtime against Mike Vernon, that was so cool. Pushed us ahead. Yeah, I don't like them at all. I don't like them at all. So, and I get it. They're not good now, and everyone's like, "Why kick them down when they're down?" I've hated them since I was a kid. So, yeah. I'm believing Shannon says that the Canucks will get better and go to the Stanley Cup. I had my voice crack because that's pretty. Parade at RevTrev's. Yeah, let's do it. I'm going to do a parade in Nanaimo whenever we win a cup. So, any news on Hedel? Nope. I think it's a long-term thing, guys. But I think. Oh no, wait a minute. Rutherford said that he could be back, but I don't know. Green says ticket prices don't affect me being a fan. It just affects me actually attending games. Canucks for life. Woo! Let's go. That's a good way. By the way, everyone, I think I might go to a couple of Canuck games coming up soon. Remembrance Day long weekend. I'm thinking about going to the back-to-back ones. So I'm looking forward to that. Good night, David W. Thanks for being here. Now, all the news on Philip is bullheedle. I don't know. I think in 2024, the Bertuzzi incident didn't happen. The Canucks would have won the cup as they lost to Calgary in Game 7 without Bertuzzi and a broken team, and Calgary went to the Game 7 finals. That's a good point. I don't know if our goaltending was good enough to make it all the way there, to be honest with you, but the Bertuzzi incident did hurt, and also Naslund was injured. That's why Bertuzzi did what he did. Not saying that it was okay or right to do. I think what happened to Young. Why am I blanking on his name? Young man. He's a young man. I think that was tragic. So I wish that didn't happen. I'm too young to remember those Flames teams. Exactly. So the hate goes deep, man. But the Iggy Kipper ones, I do remember. Yeah, those guys were good. So, Stephen Moore. Yeah, thanks, guys. My apologies to Stephen Moore. And hope you're doing well in life. I'm sorry that happened to you. That's terrible, terrible, terrible. Okay, everyone. An hour and 5 minutes have gone by. I'm so thankful that you're around. We had 150 people in here. Let's do it. We're gonna call it as an end. This is the last comment of the night. Vote RevTrev into the All-Star game, folks. Thanks for the stream. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you too. Hope you're well. Okay, let's tomorrow night. I'm gonna stream again after the game. So stay tuned. Looking forward to connecting with you. I'll go live right after the game. Wait a minute. Packers game is on tomorrow night. That's a big one. I'm having people over. Yeah, I think I can go live right after the game. It'll be about 9:45 Pacific time tomorrow night. If not, it'll be 10 p.m. But I'll be live. Looking forward to connecting with you. Hope you guys have a great night. Hope we beat Edmonton tomorrow. Stay positive. Believe in this team. The black jerseys were out. It was awesome. I think they're going Orca tomorrow, if memory serves me correctly. So let's believe in blue. Let's cheer on these Canucks and go Canucks go.